Hello and welcome to the Beat LA podcast. My name is Matt Ferrucci. I'm a writer-director in Los Angeles via San Francisco, Richmond District, District 1. The election is coming up. And I am joined, as always, by my partner in crime. I wouldn't want to do this podcast with anybody else. I mean, come on, nobody else. The next general manager of the San Francisco Giants, Mr. Paul Rule. Paul, how you doing?
Oh, Matt, I'm glad you brought that up because I just sent my resume in. I know a lot of stuff's been happening with you around this podcast. You got a movie role. Your script dope friend is getting a lot of heat. And I'm hoping that from this podcast that the fact I sent my resume into the Giants is going to help me get that job as Buster Posey's number 2. Who works for number 2, Matt? Who works for number 2?
Cut to the clip.
Who does number 2 work for?
That's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss.
So speaking of applying for the job now, how did you do it? Did you have a connect, or did you tell me you did it via LinkedIn? Did they post it on LinkedIn, or how'd you get your resume in?
I went to Buster's house in Orinda. And
just knocked on the door?
I threw it over the fence. I don't know if he's going to get it or not.
Let me ask you, do you think you got a good chance of getting the GM job with the Giants?
I don't know. I don't know. Princeton JV baseball, 0 for 11 with 6 strikeouts and 1 run batted in on a fielder's choice is going to get me the gig. But, you know, I think I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think he's going to listen to the pod at least.
Do you think Farhan ever played baseball? Come on.
Farhan didn't play baseball. That was my point.
Yeah.
Buster wants a baseball guy, and I got the bona fides, baby.
You do. You're very smart the way you crunch the numbers, too. Like I said, folks, if you ever want to talk to Paul about compounding interest and make a few bucks, this is the guy you need to talk to about that. Quickly, Paul, let's pay some bills real quick.
Do it.
Thanks for listening to the BLA podcast. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. When you do that, click follow and subscribe and leave a review if you want to leave a review. You know, we're stuck on like 50 plus reviews. Leave another review. You can watch us on YouTube. Please subscribe there. You can see what Paul's wearing. He's got a beautiful shirt. I've got like 2 buttons down and I'm showing off my chain today. It's wild. I don't know what's gotten into me, Paul. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. The Chinese government really loves us on TikTok these days. Paul, you brought up baseball. The GM. The baseball playoffs are happening right now. Mets, Dodgers, Indians, Yankees. I got some thoughts. Where do you want to go with this?
I got to push pause for 1 second. We got to talk. You look great. The chain, I don't know where this chain's been, this open shirt thing. We got a great guest coming on. He's been in a lot of sequels, Matt. Are you auditioning for Scarface 2?
All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
I should. If I do, I'm going up for the character of Manolo, played by Stephen Bauer. I've met him many times. In fact, cut to the picture of me and Stephen Bauer. Okay? I'll say this. The drinking game started early. I met Stephen Bauer in 2 places. The first place I met him was on the red carpet of a film premiere. The other place I met him was in rehab. So let's drink to that and continue, Paul.
A little water.
I'm going to drink? Yeah, here we go.
All right, the baseball playoffs, Matt. We're rooting for one thing and one thing only, baby, that the Dodgers lose. We're recording this Monday night. The Dodgers lost today. The Dodgers, with their analytic dipshit stuff, regardless of how many stars they have, they have had a lot of injuries. They had a bullpen game today, and they got roasted by the Mets, and it was glorious.
It was glorious. I love it. Everyone's a Mets fan. It's like up here in San Francisco, we're walking down the street. Everyone's like, go Mets. It's really a thing. I mean, I hate nothing. Listen, we all know this. I hate Dodger fans and that organization more than I hate some things politically. I'll just say that. And I'm really happy about the Mets today. They looked well. Here's the thing I wanted to bring up, and this is really funny, Paul. The starting pitcher for the New York Mets today was Sean Manaea. The starting pitcher for the Cleveland Indians today was Alex Cobb. The starting pitcher for the New York Yankees was Carlos Rodon. How does this make you feel?
Matt, you jumped ahead to one of my pet peeves. Giants pitchers in the playoffs. It's unbelievable. It's all Farhan all the time. The fucking guy. Look, he didn't get any draft picks for Rodon. They never gave Manaea a real chance to start. And look at these guys. And by the way, apparently they fixed Manaea's delivery in the Met in New York. Were Gabe Kapler and his 400 coaches supposed to be able to fix everybody who came into the Giants organization? It's maddening and perfectly fitting.
It's funny. I saw Manaea today. I've been watching him all year, and I didn't want to see him go. Tomato. He's coming around. He's coming from the side. He reminded me a little bit of John Tudor from the St. Louis Cardinals back in the 80s. But he's coming sidearm. It's great. I mean, hey, last series, I was watching Donovan Solano just ripping singles for the Padres.
I know.
That's another one,
I know, Donnie Barrels, baby. I'm rooting for the Mets, and I'm rooting hard for the Guardians, man. You know me. Yeah. I like teams that haven't won the World Series in a long time, and they currently are the team that hasn't won it in the longest time, 1948. So I'm all about the Guardians. And by the way, Matt, what did I say when we had a little side bet at the beginning of this? We picked two teams to go all the way, and I'm looking better than you. I picked the Tigers and the Mets. I'm a big believer in this new playoff system that if you have a first-round bye and you're one of the two teams that has the best record in your division or in your league, that you actually are at a disadvantage. So I got 1 of 2 still standing, and I think the Tigers outperformed too. Who did you pick, Matt?
Oh, I'm out. I'm busted. This is why I don't bet anymore. I went with the Padres and the Orioles.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So wait, hold on. You brought up the Guardians, and I just want to fit this in there. Nick, cut to a clip from Major League One.
1 run on, let's see, 1 hit. That's all we got. 1 goddamn hit.
You can't say goddamn on the air.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Yeah, that's a hard one, the Yankees-Guardians, because I get what you're saying about the Guardians, but, the Yankees, whether it's the Yankees-Mets or the Yankees-Dodgers, would be fun. I was explaining this to a friend of the pod today, Elaine Uwe, our NBA analyst, about how in the late 70s, there was that Tommy Lasorda, Reggie Jackson, Billy Martin sort of rivalry that was there with those two teams. Paul, dumb question. How do you feel about the Mets actually taking this series? It's tied up 1-1 now. How do you see it going forward?
I was just texting our good friends Mike Bass and Tony Capali about this. I still think, the Dodgers, they seem to have more gumption, more balls, more cojones than they maybe have in the past. When they went into San Diego and won that Game 4 in San Diego to stave off elimination and win a Game 5, they haven't been doing that a lot in these last 12 years when they couldn't close the deal. I think they got a little bit more something going on with this team, in part because Clayton Kershaw is hurt and can't pitch and can't fuck it up for them. So I think it's Dodgers in 7.
You know what? The Dodgers, that's a great point, is I think they've taken the evil empire moniker from the Yankees, the way they sort of operate. I believe you the same way. To me, the Mets are like Han Solo and Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon, and just can they get there to the finish line? It's such a ragtag bunch, even with Lindor and Polar Bear Pete Alonso.
Matt, you told me, is I correct that they are your second favorite team, the Mets?
Yeah, they're second my favorite team. Growing up, after the Giants, 1986, that team, the bad guys won. Keith Hernandez, Mookie Wilson, Darryl Strawberry, Lenny Dykstra stuffed into an overhead compartment on the plane while Jesse Orozco's doing blow with Tim Tuffle in the back of an airplane. Gary Carter, Ray Knight, Rafael Santana at shortstop. This was the team. They were cocaine and bitches, and at fucking 11 years old, I knew. They went into your city and they fucked your women and kicked your ass.
It's helps explain maybe your baseball career and USC, Matt. So congratulations.
Yeah.
This is great.
Who's your second team? Do you have a second team?
And by the way, you know this, Matt, but maybe all our listeners don't know this. It's kind of cool that you're second team because they're kind of half Giants. When both New York team, when the Dodgers and the Giants left, and New York was given the Mets as an expansion franchise, they picked colors of blue and orange, because blue was for the Dodgers and orange was for the Giants. So my second favorite team cannot be in the National League. So my second favorite team, well, it's kind of the Oakland A's, if I'm allowed to do that. But if it's not the A's, I root for the Guardians, actually. I have a lot of friends from Cleveland, and I root, and the Cubs. I have to look because I love Kirk Allen and Chris Collins and all my buddies who hung out with us at Giants Cubs.
Sidebar question that has nothing to do with our fan base. Have you ever done the Cleveland Film Festival? I heard it's great. It's an Oscar qualifying festival. Have you ever been or done that?
I have never done that.
I'm thinking of submitting the latest project to Cleveland, and I'm like, Cleveland? Am I really doing this? But it's a great city.
I had one of the great days of my life in Cleveland. I was on my baseball tour in 2018, and I went to a day game at Progressive Field. I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then I went to see the Warriors beat the Cavaliers in the NBA.
I remember this
Finals.
day.
Yeah, where Durant hit like the 35-footer to win the game. Yeah.
Incredible opportunity. Durant for 3. It's good. Kevin Durant from downtown, and Golden State takes the lead.
Also, I want to ask you, when you were in Cleveland, did you do the draft day tour, the Kevin Costner draft day tour?
I did not.
Hey, Nick, from Shits and Giggles, cut to a clip from draft day.
I want all 3 years of this team's future back.
It's not fair.
Well, you want to cry about it, Tom, or you want to make a little magic before the clock runs out on both of us?
Well, listen, I was going to say here, I wrote this down in the show notes. I want to bet Paul about like a World Series or baseball bet, and I want the winner to take the other to Musso's. What's the bet? What can we do here? I'll take the Yankees. You take Cleveland.
Okay, and all right, we'll just do that. I'll take Cleveland. You take the Yankees. You should win that one, but I probably owe you a meal anyway.
And I'll take. You want to do that? We'll do another double bet. I'll just do the double or nothing now. I'll take the Mets. You want to take the Dodgers on that one for another Musso's?
Ooh, sure.
You might be negging him. You might be negging him by taking him.
Oh, that's true. Beat LA, baby. All right, we got our bet, Matt. We got our bet.
There it is. Hey, folks, that is our baseball segment. We're going to be right back with a little Niners. Seahawks recap. I know we're going to jump to the future because we like to do the future on this podcast now. We got the Chiefs coming up Sunday. But real quick, we both watched the Seahawks win on Thursday night. I loved how you watched that Kendall Roy style in the back of an Uber Black. Can I say that?
As I was coming back from 3 weeks in Europe, man.
Red Zone Blues continue. I know we did score. We were 3 for 6 or 3 for 7 in the red zone.
Or as Tom Brady calls it, the red area.
I think we've struggled pretty much at everything. We just struggled in the red area, struggled in third down.
The Kyle issues persist, but I thought it was a great win. I felt like we found a little bit of our mojo. We needed that slump buster, as certain people say in certain circles. We got a running back issue now. Jordan Mason sprained that shoulder, but Isaac Guerrero looked good. Defense got a huge spark from the rookies. Renardo Green, Malik Mustafa. Let's just sit all the vets. They looked great. How you feeling about that game?
Look, it's funny that they won a game where Kyle didn't have a chance to fuck them up in practice the week before. 3-day turnaround. They got a lot of injuries, man. Didn't they have 8 rookies who played on Thursday?
Yeah. The thing that's kind of driving me crazy, they're running a bunch of new Christian McCaffrey Madden commercials. And they're great commercials.
I know.
They're running them now. They're running them. They're great. And it's just this sick reminder of the curse.
I told him we would mention him. So our good buddy Aaron White had the same thing done to his Achilles, where he got the goat blood shot into it, not in Germany, but somewhere in, I don't know, Koreatown. And he said that all of this stuff, nobody knows what they're talking about, that it's 6 to 8 weeks for CMC to come back from that injury.
6 to 8 weeks. Okay. Got it. I think we're 3-3 at the mid-quarter 35% point of the season. We're in first place in the NFC West, Paul.
Should be 5-1. They lost to 2 really bad teams after choking huge leads against the Cardinals and the Rams, but sure.
Yeah, I think we're in an okay position. It's all about the defense. It all just comes down to the defense, the Swiss cheese defense.
It'd be nice to see Greenlaw come back. You see him get a fine while he was hurt on the sideline.
That's great.
Yeah.
And look at this bullshit, these fines that they hand out. It's just ridiculous. We need him back because I'll tell you this, Devondre fucking Campbell Sr. that we signed from the Packers, he is god-awful. I was texting you some things that should not be said on the podcast about this guy at middle linebacker. He's just old. He's old and slow, and we need Dre back bad.
I hear you. You text me all sorts of things, including how the Niners, both your football teams are pissing you off right now. It's been a bad couple of weeks for USC.
Oh God, it's so bad. I mean, I don't even have a comp. I was going to talk shit about Princeton. I can't. I mean, USC is the 49ers of college football.
Should we quickly just get our anger out about this Colin Cowherd thing before we make some predictions about Kansas City?
Let's do it, and let's set this up for the listeners. Colin Cowherd, he's on Fox Sports 1. He's got a show. He's been around forever. We all know who he is. Anyway, last week he made some noise. He did a segment, and, it was kind of showing Brock Purdy love. He did a whole segment on quarterbacks that are better than Brock Purdy now, or is Brock Purdy better than them?
That was literally the name of the segment, better than Purdy.
And I was watching it live, Paul. Oh. And he's always got the Niners back, but he came out of the gate, and the first thing he said was Dak Prescott is better than right now than Brock Purdy, which 50-50. But then after we saw what Dak did this week, I was like, you're fucking crazy. Jared Goff, he starts going down the list. And then It was a joke. The guy's like, Bo Nix? He said Bo Nix is better than Brock Purdy. And this is what I have to say to you, Colin Cowherd. I've been a big fan of yours. Always a big fan. Don't become the Skip Bayless of, that's not, you don't want to be, like, you have substance. Like, don't troll for clicks. Don't be us.
Yeah.
And troll for clicks.
Yeah, you actually make a bunch of money doing this. We got to troll for clicks.
Just have a solid take. And, you know, he's winning, but it just takes his credibility away, and it's absolutely asinine. And the fan neuroses, I have fan neuroses, Paul, because it upset me. It really actually pissed me the fuck off.
Isn't it interesting just how much people love to rip on Purdy? The fact that this national, like, there's a complex around the whole country around this guy. I don't get it. And I will say, the one other thing I'll say about this is that, did you see Kyle actually did some play action this week? And they won. I don't understand why he refused to play action. If you look at the stats, I remember in front of me, Purdy is so much better doing play action. So maybe do things that help Purdy so dipshits like Colin Cowherd don't have all this ammunition on them.
I love it. I love it when we can bond over something, Paul.
There's a lot we can bond over, Matt. Including the fact I'm going to an St. Ignatius football game on Friday, Matt.
Unbelievable. He's going to my high school alma mater football game, SI versus St. Francis Lancers at JB Murphy Field. I haven't been there since high school.
I plan to get kind of stinky on some OE8 or Mickey's Big Mouth, one of those, Matt. That was your high school drink, right?
No, St. Ides. I do St. Ides because when I was a kid, I was listening to rap music. So I wanted to be, yeah. So, hey, by the way, financial analyst Steve Groschel, I know you're listening to the pod. Paul's going Friday. If you want to meet him out there.
Yeah, let's do it, Steve. We'll party like Matt, like we're Matt in 1994. So we should get into predictions, Matt. We got to keep moving here.
We got to keep moving. Okay, Chiefs, Niners this Sunday. It is, Paul, and I love you want to know the Niners are a 1.5 point favorite.
I saw that. Crazy.
Over under 46.5. Paul. Now remember, you went straight. You gave me the straight dope. You didn't let the neg come into the play. You just told me what you thought was going to happen Sunday, and we won on Thursday. So just tell me.
If you remember, the last prediction we had was from Italy, and I think it was about the Cardinals game that they lost. So I'm going full fucking neg, Matt. I can't lose to these fucking Chiefs again. Niners are going to lose. They got too many injuries. The Chiefs have their number. The Chiefs are just constantly playing with house money. They're undefeated. The Niners, I mean, Trent Williams is like, oh, this game is just any other game. It's not any other game. And they're going to tense up, and Kyle's going to shit the bed, and they're going to lose. And they're going to lose. You said it's a 46.5 over-under. Is that what you said, Matt?
Yes.
Okay, so their defense is in trouble. Mustafa's hurt. They basically don't have any safeties left. I think they're going to lose by a touchdown, and I think it's going to be 27-20, right over the 46.5.
Okay, there it is, folks. Paul's gone back to the Count of Monte Negdom is back, and I don't think he's negging. I just think he's actually speaking the truth.
I was so relaxed on my vacation, Matt. Now I'm all fucking agitated.
I know. I can see it in you. I can see it in your bones, but it's a good look for you. You look healthier when you're angry, Paul.
Thanks, buddy.
I just want to say that. Paul, I hear everything you're saying. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to zag. I'm going to say that the 49ers get off the schneid finally against the Kansas City. I know Kansas City's coming off their bye, all right? And I know there's the big old bugaboo with the Niners. But once again, Kansas City's, they're not as good as 5-0. They've been in a couple of games they should have lost because of the refs. I think the Niners actually find a way at home to dig one out. And I think we win this one 24-21 on a Matthew Wright field goal.
Field goal, yes.
Even though he almost got hurt, he dislocated his shoulder in that game going for a tackle because our special teams is so fucking bad. But the Niners pull this one out. 24-21, San Francisco 49ers win.
You drinking Kool-Aid to start your day? Really?
It's so good.
What kind?
Red. Kool-Aid is fucking awesome. It really is awesome.
All right, woo, let's go, Matt. Leave it to the Niners to have their fucking kicker get hurt 2 weeks in a row on kickoff returns. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All right, folks, that is our Niners. That is our Giants. We're going to be right back with actor, writer, Happy Gilmore 2, kind of pregnant, grown-ups 2, Mr. Chris Titone. All right, Beat LA Heads, we're back. Like I said before, we have a very special guest. We always say that, Paul, but I think we really mean it this time. He wrote the hit Netflix film Home Team with Kevin James. You've seen him in films like The Wrong Missy, Grown Ups 2, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. He's been in a lot of sequels. On TV shows like Californication and White Famous, which I loved, Paul. I think I was the only one who saw that. And he just wrapped the Amy Schumer film Kinda Pregnant. He's currently shooting Happy Gilmore 2. But to us, he's just a Dolphins fan from Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, actor-writer Chris Titone. Chris, what's up? Welcome.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Chris. Good to see you, buddy. It's been too long.
Man.
First off, let's just get Chris the straight dope here. I kind of just met Chris. Chris is not in my peripheral, but Paul, he's your guy. How's this? How's the love, the relationship here with you two guys? What's the story?
So Chris and I wrote a dirty little movie together called Tag Team that never went anywhere, but it was for our good friends at Happy Madison Productions. And you can read into this any way you want, Matt, but then the next movie that he wrote was also about football, and it got made, and it wasn't with me. So I'm not going to read into that, Chris.
No, you should. You should read into that. Yeah. Chris, was it the true? Yeah.
No, he's actually off. I wrote a movie between Tag Team and Home Team that also didn't get made.
Funny. Welcome to Hollywood. Yeah.
Welcome to fucking Hollywood. Thanks for having me on. No, I think it's like 1 out of 5 get made, you think? What do you think, Paul?
I've sold 16 pilots, Chris, and none of them have gotten on the air. So if that's your ratio, you're doing better than I am.
Well, I've never sold anything that didn't get made. When I sell it, they make it. It's 1 out of 5, though. By the way, I've written, you ready for this shit? Can I curse?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, sure.
I've written 2 since Home Team.
You're prolific, though. Look at you. Just throwing
you got to keep writing every night, right?
Yeah, you do.
Paul, does this make you feel small, a little small in some way?
No, I feel good. I'm I'm happy for Chris. He's a good guy. He deserves it.
I haven't sold 16 pilots. That sounds better. Let's trade.
Hey, he wants to trade. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe there's a little, what do they call that? What's that Lindsay Lohan movie?
Parent Trap?
Titanic.
Titanic. Cut to the clip.
Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. Wearing this.
All right.
Wearing only this.
No, so I'm writing a new one. It's kind of like The Hangover, but in Miami. But it's poor dudes with like a lot of money. It's kind of that feel. We'll see, man.
Good segue there, Chris, because Miami. All right, like I don't know a lot of people from Miami, and now you grew up in Miami. Dolphins, Panthers, Marlins. This is your team?
Those are my teams. I literally went to the first Panthers game ever.
And then what's it like growing up in Miami as a kid? Are you running around like a mini Scarface? Like what's happening out there during those times?
We didn't have. There's like a big casino there now. Everyone's like, "Bro, you grew up with the casino?" I'm like, "Nah, it wasn't there." But we had like the Strip. We had we had fun, and it was always spring break for somebody.
Got it. So are you like a Dan Marino guy? Is that your guy?
Marino's my guy. You kidding?
Okay.
Dan Marino's Town Tavern. He opened a restaurant afterwards. Yeah, Dan Marino's my guy.
Isotoners? You like isotoners as gifts and stuff like that? Yeah.
Ever since Isotoner went OJ, it changed it for me.
I have a very long Christmas shopping list. A whole football team that my career depends on. But my shopping is easy because they let me know exactly what they want. Isotoner gloves for men.
So you don't hold it against Marino that he never won a Super Bowl?
No, I mean, he's number 13, man. I think football really is the most team sport it gets. One guy really can't do it,
Matt, has any number 13 won the Super Bowl as quarterback? Because we have a number 13 now, Brock Purdy.
We do, Brock Purdy, and I do get scared that he wears number 13. I don't know. That's a great question. We should put that on the board for the fans. A number 13 ever win
I just got
win
back
the Super Bowl.
from Europe, Chris. I know you were curious where I've been. And I was on a plane, and I was in the 13th row. And, they don't have 13th rows in American planes, but they do.
Oh, they had in Europe.
Yeah. My wife turned to me, and she's like, I think we're going to die. And I'm like, now I'm thinking about it.
They just would have wrote 14 in America.
I know.
Yeah, right. 12 to 14. Chris, was it so like Jim Leland, Marlins type of World Series thing happening for you those days?
I remember Leland. Marlins, we used to go to the games, but if they were a new team, man, they were tickets for free. I remember going to games and getting like the shittiest tickets ever and being like, let's just go to the second row and walking down.
And it's so funny you could probably do that now. in the state of the Marlins these days.
Yeah, unfortunately, you probably do that.
So, Chris, have you not turned into like an LA bandwagon guy? You're like a big, star hanging out with big stars. You're not like going to Dodger games and stuff with Brad Pitt.
Adam's New York, so any New York team he's all about.
Okay.
And listen, if you want to go to a game, you got to go to an LA game. I'm somewhat of a fan,
Okay. Talk about Adam Sandler here, and Chris, you can explain your relationship with Adam, but I did have a question. Is he pissed off that Spike Lee and Billy Crystal got into the NBA Hall of Fame this weekend as super fans, and Adam did not?
They're there every week. Aren't they there at every game? Adam's not doing that. Adam's going to one game. Adam's got like kids and family.
Okay.
He ain't doing that.
Okay.
Paul, I see where you're trying to go there.
You're trying to start something.
You're trying to start some shit for clicks, but the first three, Jack, Spike, and Billy, makes sense. He might be on the back on the reach around.
Aren't they there every game? Spike is for sure, right?
Yeah, Spike right now. I'm looking. He's at the Yankee game, at the Yankee Indians game right now.
He's not playing. He's at every
Hey, before we get to Sandler, I just want to dial back Chris because I'm fascinated about this shit, Paul. So like the LeBron Miami days, were you around then?
Yeah.
What was the feeling in what's up with like that Miami Heat run? Was that fun? Was that wild?
The third one to come? It was
Bosch.
Okay, so Bosch was the last one to come. When he came, we all knew we're winning. That's it. It's over. So it was it was cool. Before the season started, we were celebrating. We won the whole thing,
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the last thing, Paul. I love that we have a Miami angle. Fine, I can ask all these questions. Me and my NBA buddies, every time we watch a Miami Heat game, the place is half full. Can you explain Miami fans? Because it seems like they're like LA fans. They arrive late, leave early. Is it because there's too much happening in the nightclubs, the shit,
There's very few cities in America where there's something to do after the game. There's 10 of them. So
sure.
There's something to do after the game. We're going to it.
All right. Well, the Sandler thing, man, you got the connection there. He's obviously a legend, but I want to know the hoops. You ever play hoops with the guy?
Yeah, he's really good. He plays an hour every single day. Yeah, you do anything for an hour every single day, you're going to get real good at it.
We had a guest a couple weeks ago who was telling us a story about being on ER with Clooney and playing hoops. Have Sandler and Clooney ever played against each other, as far as you know? And who's better?
Not as far as I know. I was on a show called Californication with David Duchovny.
I know. I modeled like 10 years of my life after that show.
That dude's good.
Oh, interesting.
He's Harvard, right? Or is it Princeton or something crazy?
He's a Princeton guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those. But he's also working out. He's a good dude.
He's tall. He's like one of those lanky forwards, like one of those Tom Chambers types, Paul. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. I don't know how you know that.
Yeah.
That was cool. You never know, because I showed up season 7, so you never know how it's going to go, but full blown what's up, man? Come on in. It was cool.
Oh, that's cool. Do you get naked in it? Everybody gets naked in that show. Did you get naked in that show?
No, I played the fat guy. I was Duchovny's writing partner for a show, a made-up show on the show. And everything he said, I'd be like, bro, but we should get cupcakes. That was my...
We're going to try to find that clip.
What the fuck are you doing?
Taking a picture of my burger.
Why the fuck are you taking a picture of your burger?
Because I want to put it on my Instagram.
Oh, you're going to put it on your Instagram, of course. Well, that makes sense.
I'm in 7 episodes, and every single one, he has a good idea, and I'm like, I got an idea too. We should get cupcakes.
You did that a lot when we were working together, Chris. I remember that.
Yeah. I'm always, by the way, the whole show, I'm holding a cupcake the whole time.
That's fucking great. Happy Gilmore 2, man. I mean, I think people might be sleeping on this a little bit, which is crazy, but what can you tell us, man?
Dude, it's the biggest movie ever. I keep hearing about it. I keep reading about the internet on it. It's the sequel to Happy Gilmore. Everyone's blown away. Everyone wants to be in it. It's so cool, man. I shot one scene a month ago, and I shoot another scene in 2 months. It's a 3-month shoot.
That's great, man. Who do you play in it? Can you say?
I think I can, but I'm afraid to, and I ain't playing with those. No. I ain't playing those games.
No. Chris, I last pod I got a movie, and I'm not Happy Gilmore 2, but I was afraid to talk about it as well. When Paul was digging Connie Chung on 60 Minutes, and I couldn't say shit.
What was it?
Like I said, I can't talk about it yet.
Oh, it's not out yet.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks, man. Look at me plugging my shit, Paul. Look at me plugging myself.
Well, you're plugging nothing.
Plugging nothing. Except the vibe. Yeah.
Can you at least tell us the name or no?
Yeah, no, I can say. I call him Jamie Tart from Ted Lasso because no one knows the other guy. Jennifer Beals is in it as well. From
I like
Flashdance days.
No, she's great. She does the fucking this shit.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you arched that back pretty good there, Chris. Yeah.
Thank you. I've been practicing. That wasn't fucking rehearsed at all.
I just saw that music video, believe it or not. I was in England and they have an MTV 80s channel dedicated and I watched it like on a loop in my hotel room, Chris. So
That's a good idea.
You did a great job. You're not sweating.
That shit on right now.
Yeah, I wish that I poured water on you right before that, and you could hit the chair. Yeah.
And then you got Kind of Pregnant. Is you just did this with Amy Schumer? Right?
Yeah, Amy Schumer's new movie, Kind of Pregnant.
Okay.
So funny, dude. She's so funny on screen and then like in person. Like I was talking to her, I was bullshitting with her. She's so funny. That's like 5 lines. I play the barista of like a Brooklyn coffee shop. She just get her and Will Forte grab a coffee from me. Dude, Will is a machine.
Yeah.
I'm literally hanging with him like between takes. And he's like, blah, 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 we're having fun or whatever. And then he'd be like, oh my God, I'm supposed to write the thing. And he was writing a script that like he was supposed to shoot between shooting a movie he's in. Machine. He's a machine.
Hey, Nick, real quick for shits and giggles, can we just cut to a clip from MacGruber?
I will suck your dick. I will suck your fucking dick. I will do it. Just join my team.
Forte's an East Bay guy, Matt. I hope you know that. He went to
he
went to a rival high school. Yeah, he's a good guy.
What high school did he go to? Where'd he go?
I think he went to Akalani's, I want to say, in Lafayette. But he's a good guy. I knew him from my TV writer. You know, he was a TV writer on that '70s show before he got on SNL. But he was always a groundling guy too. But
Forte?
Yeah, he was a TV writer.
Was a writer?
He was a TV writer first and foremost. And he got out and got on Saturday Night Live. We were like, wait a minute. You can leave sitcom writing to go get on Saturday Night Live? And I think he's the only one ever. So.
Dude, he's so funny. Have you seen Last Man on Earth?
Yeah, it's a funny show. Yeah, I have seen it.
Bro.
Yeah.
Just the thing, to be like eating dinner and be like, bro, I have an idea. What if I was the last man on Earth and I was the only guy? Let's just write an episode and see what happens. It's cool.
Hey, Chris, I want to go back to a Happy Gilmore 2. So wait, who's back? Is Christopher McDonald back in this thing? Or
Christopher McDonald is back. I can say that because it's on IMDb. Julie Bowen is back. You know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam's back. And then, I mean, this was one of the movies where everyone wanted a line. Everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam had celebrities calling him saying, can I have a line? And, you know what I mean? Like, this movie's going to be big, dude. I'm really excited. I'm excited just to be a part of it. Like I say that for every movie, but this one I really, really mean it.
Netflix, you said, right? I mean, it's going to be the biggest movie in the history of Netflix.
I mean, it's going to be the biggest movie in the history of Netflix. I'm going to be in it, dude. I'm so pumped.
I love this.
Great.
I love this.
We're going to have you back on then, too, so you can tell us what character you are.
For sure. Once it drops, have me on. I'll talk about everything.
All right.
So, Chris, is it going to go to theaters or just drop straight to Netflix?
Oh, Netflix only.
Oh, only. Got it. That's crazy. Paul, are you jealous? I feel like there's a lot of jealousy that you have of Chris because you've talked about him a lot.
I have no jealousy of Chris. First of all, good guy and we're friends. And second of all, he appeared on the podcast. So what do I mean, I forgive everybody for everything if they show up on the podcast.
Trust me, he's not jealous of me. No one really is because I have such like, please like me energy. So it's hard to like be jealous of like the guy in the room that's like, is it okay that I'm here?
Yeah.
Chris and I spent a lot of time together writing this failed movie, and I was going through a pretty dark period, and Chris was there for me. So thank you, Chris.
I tried to be, man. That was a dark movie, dude.
Matt read it, and he was like, whoa. He's like, this isn't your usual fare, Paul. And I'm like, yeah, I think I was working through some shit.
But I loved the edge in it. It was dirty. Like it was a part of Paul that I didn't know Paul had in him. But maybe that was you, Chris. Maybe that was you. Yeah.
Dude, I wrote a horror movie after Home Team. Tanked, but I should send it to you, dude. It's terrible.
Is it better or worse than Long Legs?
It's better than Long Legs. It's better than Smile also, and Smile got a sequel.
Long Legs is definitely going to get a sequel. Long Legs is going to have like 7 sequels. Apparently, I just saw this thing that Nicolas Cage channeled his mother and playing the lead character. We can cut to that clip, Matt.
Let me in now, and it can be now.
Chris, can we do a segment with you right now brought to you by Pet Pro Supply Co.?
Of course we can.
Okay. This is called Pet Peeves, brought to you by our sponsor, Pet Pro Supply Co. Chris, what's fucking gnawing at your sides right now? It could be anything. TV, movies, sports. Is there anything right now that's kind of like annoying the shit out of you? If you want to pass, me and Paul can go first.
Oh, I got it. So when you're at the gym and there's the big like wall of dumbbells, right in front of that wall of dumbbells is called the lane. And if you work out near the dumbbells in the lane, you're using all of those dumbbells. I have to wait. So the people working out in the lane, that's fucking annoying.
I actually love the lane. I love that they have this now. I don't know, man. It's like some kind of, they kind of these, what do you think, Paul? How do you feel about the lane?
I haven't been to a gym in a long time. I like to exercise outdoors. Chris, I was noticing you're looking a little buff to me, man. You're looking a little ripped. I don't know if that was the Chris that I remember from 2018. Yeah, see? Look at that. Gun show, baby. Gun show.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show. And see if she likes the goods.
Paul, when Chris jumped on, I was like, this is a good looking guy, but then he's Italian like I am. So, that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's the best pasta in the city? What do you got?
You know where I went 2 weeks ago? I mean, this is like the standard. I went to Bestia downtown, classic. They still got, it's pretty good. What do you got?
I haven't been. So this is what I think, okay? Best noodle is Scopa in Venice.
Okay.
Scopa, I love Scopa, yeah.
Best noodle. And then best sauce is Craig's on Melrose, the
classic
sauce.
Old school. It's old school. Craig's kind of like Dantana's.
Bacon. It's got chunks of peas.
Ooh, makes you want to go. Yeah, well, he was, the old maitre d' at Dantana's, man. So.
Oh yeah, I love Dantana's.
Yeah. Chris, go down to Bestia. They took the bone marrow and they put in the tagliatelle, and then we'll have Paul buy it for us too. Paul will bring us and he'll pay. So
Bestia, I've never been. I gotta go.
Okay, that's good. So he went with the fucking lane on dumbbells for pet peeves. Paul, do you want to throw one out right now? Do you got one for me?
I mean, I got a lot. I don't know if they're going to bore.
Just give me one.
Going to bore Chris though. Well, one was that Spike Lee and Billy Crystal got into the NBA Hall of Fame, and particularly Billy Crystal is a Clipper fan. Can you get into the NBA Hall of Fame as a Clipper fan? So that seems annoying to me. I also hate. Okay, so I will have other pet peeves with we let Chris go. I don't like the fact that in Major League Baseball playoffs that they fucking have advertising on their batting helmets. You seen this?
Do they? Yeah.
For Strauss. Yes. I looked it up. Strauss is a German clothing brand. Like they couldn't even get like a fucking I don't know, apple pie company or something.
So wait, their helmets while they're playing?
Yeah.
While they're playing, all of them say Strauss on the side. Yeah.
Oh, here?
On the side of the helmet. Yeah.
Both sides?
Both sides.
You should have gotten one. You could have shaved one on the side of your head there, Chris, and we could have made a little money on this podcast.
Whatever paycheck they're getting for that isn't worth it. It's no good.
I'm sure MLB doesn't have enough money. They had to do that.
Remember when NBA started doing this shit?
Yeah. Still, there's more. There's more things are happening. They're all billboards now. It's like Europe.
Yeah, it's all.
Everyone's gonna turn into a fucking billboard, man.
It's all Chico's bail bonds, baby.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, we got to get you out here. But Paul, I just have one. I have one pet peeve I want to talk about. Okay. I'm giving him a chance, but Tom Brady, man, he's the lead anchor now on the game of the week. He just sounds like a kid, and he doesn't have any volume control. It's like my mother with her hearing aids, but he's like a young man who doesn't. He's just screaming into the microphone. I can't fucking take it, Paul. What are we going to do about this? Tom's bad. He's not good.
We're not going to do anything. He's making a lot of money to annoy you.
This is my opinion on the matter.
Give it to me.
He is so fucking good at playing quarterback in the NFL. For us to assume that he would be even decent at something else is crazy. Yeah. I'm so okay with him being really good at one thing and one thing only. He sucks at this. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, he's too good looking too. It's his looks are becoming an issue.
Plus he's fucking a model. Plus he's a model.
Yeah.
I'll let the Fox is paying him like $20 million a year to be their shitty announcer.
And I've never met him, but I've heard he's like really nice.
Yeah, that too. All right, I'm going to give him a pass. Paul, before we get Chris out here, you want to hit him with your question? The question you love to ask.
I have 2 questions. You can answer one of them, Chris. Okay, so one of them is you're part of kind of the Sandler, Happy Madison sort of stable of actors. So you worked with all those guys. Do you have a favorite guy in that group, and do you have a least favorite guy?
You're always going for the T, man. Like
you
the
know
Daily
what's so
Mail.
funny? I'll because whole love that I say this. It's the answer is the same person.
Okay.
It's Rob Schneider.
Yes, San Francisco Giant fan, Rob Schneider. Yeah.
When I see him on set, I know it's going to be a good time, but also I know I'm going to be held to a standard that's higher than my own. I really am. I think of him as the best character actor to ever live. Think about this for a second, okay? Rob Schneider is the guy in Big Daddy that's like, hip hop anonymous?
Hip hop? Hip hop anonymous?
Damn you! You get him the easy ones!
And he's also the guy in 50 First Dates that's like Hawaiian.
Now why you gotta spread those lies? Sharks are like dogs. They only bite when you touch their private parts.
Okay.
He's those two guys. And I could go on and on and on. He's like 50 guys that we all know and know a line of. I think he's the best character actor to ever live.
That's such a great question. I don't even want to ask the other question. The other question was, we asked this of all of our guests, and they're not all actors. So the answer could be you, but who plays you in the movie?
Me. No, I'm just kidding. What is it?
Who plays you in the movie of your life, Chris?
Who would play me? I mean, it'd have to be someone fucking young and not too good looking. I mean, I would want to play me, but there's that show where they're smuggling drugs into America and they get caught and locked up abroad.
Okay, yeah.
There's an episode of a guy, he's an actor, and he's smuggling drugs from Mexico to LA, and he gets caught, and he spends time in Mexico. Of course, they have to like act it out, and he plays himself. So that's what I would like. I would like to play myself. That would be fun.
Okay. All right. That's good. They may say, hey, Chris, you're not a big enough star to play yourself. I have a situation where I write a lot of shows that are kind of semi-autobiographical, and I like to joke that I'm now too old to play myself.
I mean, who's watching the movie about my life? Really, is the real question. I don't think my life is interesting enough to draw a crowd.
That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get there, Chris. This podcast will be like a catapult, sending you in the direction.
I want to play Adam in his life story. That sounds fun.
There we go.
Because that's the second question usually is who do you want to play in the biopic?
I want to play
Adam Sandler.
That sounds
you
fun.
play Adam. That's great. Okay. Chris, thanks for playing, man. We really appreciate you having on the Beat Out podcast.
Fun.
It's great to see you, Chris. You're the best, man. Thank you for doing this, and we'll hang off camera soon.
Paul, it's always good to see you. It's very nice meeting you.
Take care. And we're back. Paul, Chris Titone. What a fucking good-looking guy.
Right? Chris looks great, man. He looks healthy. When Chris and I were sitting around writing together, I don't remember him being quite that chiseled.
Man, no. And then the Miller Lite fucking t-shirt. I want to get one of those. The retro Miller Lite shirt, man. Looking fucking good.
Made you question this button-down chest thing.
Yeah.
You want to go back to a tight t-shirt.
I know. I'm not showing the taco meat. Shout out Reggie Watkins, Kareem Grimes. No, that was a fucking awesome interview, and I can't wait to have Chris back on.
I realize I never put my hat on. I got to put my hat on, Matt. Okay, keep going.
Put your pin on. Yeah. I can't wait to have Chris back on when Miami Dolphins don't make the playoffs.
He's so much more focused on his Hollywood career. He doesn't even give a shit about sports anymore, which is that's a zen place to be, Matt.
I know it's a healthier place to be honest with you. Folks, we hit on a couple of pet peeves in there, and once again, I want to say I'm going to do another pet peeve. And once again, this podcast is brought to you by Pet Pro Supply Co. Folks, if you need anything for your pets, dogs, cats, squirrels, snakes, hamsters, crocodiles in the bathtub, parrots, go to Pet Pro Supply Co. They're a great sponsor of the show, and they got everything you need. Paul, I have another pet peeve that I just wanted to get to one more pet peeve. And I brought it up. There was the Tom Brady screams like a child. There was the Colin Cowherd thing. You touched on it a little bit, the Lincoln Riley thing, the USC thing. Once again, USC, we aren't who we think we are, okay? Fucking USC drives me crazy. This is one I thought the other day, and we might have to cut this entire segment if this doesn't make sense. I thought about this about 2 hours ago, Paul. Tits.
Whoa, yeah. Clickbait.
I have a pet peeve right now on tits. In this concept, I can't get away from them, Paul. Like, everywhere I turn on my fucking Instagram, every ad I get is tits. There's everything, like everyone's sexy, doing sexy shit on their Instagram stories. Our TikTok, I got to post our shit on social media. Our Beat LA podcast, we follow a lot of broy barstool things. So like I'm constantly, when I'm posting stuff to our TikTok, our YouTube, our Instagram, all I'm doing is getting titties in my face all the time, whether it's some girl selling some shit because she's an influencer or some like ad for luggage. There's just so much tits. And I mean, I can't concentrate. In every ad these days, it's just sexy women everywhere. I don't know what to do, Paul.
It's called an algorithm, Matt. Somebody figured out that you actually click on that stuff, apparently. And you also, like, I'm not sure I've said that word in a long time. I say things like, I mean, you said titties, I thought that was nice, or, or breasts. I don't know, Matt. Can we say
Yabos?
Yeah. I mean, we are living in a Sydney Sweeney world.
Seeing the new Playboy? Good? Oh, there's tits. All right. I like sex.
Yeah, I hear you, Matt. I hear you, Matt. This is maybe time to take a little break from social media and see if they come up with a new algorithm for you.
If I take a break from social media, Paul, the pod dies.
Sure. Talk about a Faustian bargain there. Jesus.
Oh, man. I want to say, everyone, I love tits. It's just I'm getting too much. I'm getting too much tits is what's happening.
You just keep saying that word. Am I a prude? I feel.
I don't know. I don't know. Is your mom listening to this podcast?
Like a euphemism for that word or something.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I love it when I make you uncomfortable, like on the DL.
Sweating.
Yeah. All right, Paul. Let's go to best things we saw. I know you're traveling the world, different places, different faces, but anything you want to recommend, liking, hating these days?
So a couple of things, Matt. Just an aside. One reason I think the Niners do have a chance this weekend against the Chiefs is I saw that Travis Kelce was drinking a beer at the Yankees game tonight. I don't know if that's a lot of prep for this game they have on Sunday. Maybe they're taking it too lightly with Taylor Swift. The other thing I'll tell you is I actually watched the Niners-Cardinals game from my hotel room in London, England. And you can watch a lot of football over there. Football's actually making, it's a real international sport now.
Sky Sports Network, right?
Yeah, Dominic Sue does and a couple other guys. Anyway, Tom Brady was announcing, and she said, I literally had to turn off the audio. It was so annoying. And when your team's losing and Tom Brady's just grating your brain. So that was the worst thing I watched. The best thing I watched, Matt, I'm going to give you your flowers, as you and the kids like to say. I saw Challengers on the airplane on the way home.
Oh, shit. What'd you think?
It's the best tennis movie ever made, which is a very low bar, but it's quite good. They got tennis right. I read the guy who wrote it actually, I think was a D1 tennis player, grew up in LA. It's the best tennis movie ever made. A little homoerotic. Maybe that was kind of cool. Tennis is a little homoerotic. A lot of guys thought Federer might have been on the down low. It's a good movie, man. I was all in. So you were correct.
You know, it's funny that you say, I watched it recently the other day because it's on Amazon Prime. Shout out Amazon because we want to get sponsored by them. I clicked on it and I thought of you because I thought, for a lot of the tennis stuff, they cut to wides. And I think that's because the two guys that played the leads, I don't know if they could play tennis as well as they should have. You know what really impressed me? That's the movie where I was like, Zendaya's a fucking movie star. And her form in that, and her like sort of Serena Williams thing was great. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, the tennis, by the way, clearly with CGI and stuff, you can make them look like they can play tennis. Because every time they hit the ball, it was like a rocket ship came out of their racket, which I'm sure they weren't actually hitting anything.
Look at that fucking backhand.
Again, low bar. Look at the other tennis movies like Match Point and Players with Dean Paul Martin and Ali McGraw. There's just not a lot of tennis movies. The Billie Jean King, Steve Carell, Emma, whatever her name is, that one was pretty good. Emma Stone.
But I think what I liked about it, and tell me if I'm wrong, it was kind of the Moneyball aspect, if I can go there with challengers. I didn't know about challenger events. I love how they represented like Stanford college tennis a little bit. There was a lot of little behind the scenes stuff going on with that, which was really cool.
The guy who wrote it knows tennis. That's for sure. And by the way, it's a little bit based on Andre Agassi after he kind of flamed out and famously in his book Open, which is a great read. Had a drug problem, and Brad Gilbert started coaching Agassi and told him, you got to go back to the challengers. And Agassi went to the challengers, got his confidence, started winning matches, and came back and had this incredible second act where he won every major.
That's great, Paul. I mean, I thought one day when you finally got to it, the over-under was you're going to get to it 2 months from now, so you beat that. But when you did get to it, I thought you would say, man, that was bullshit. Because of kind of the tennis and, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. You have renewed my faith in your taste.
Maybe I'll watch Industry next, Matt.
This is my little Ben segment here because I know he's like asking me right now, Matt, what do I watch? I saw the movie Saturday Night, the Jason Reitman film about the night when Saturday Night Live had their premiere. It was okay. You could wait for video, people. I thought it was really well done. Lamorne Morris playing Garrett Morris was, I think, the best part of that. The guy playing Chevy Chase, I don't know what his name is. He's going to become a star. But I thought it was a good movie. Paul, I finished Slow Horses. I don't think it's the best season that they've done. It's only 6 episodes. But season 5's right around the corner because all they do over there is shoot this fucking show. Over there, Slow Horses. It's on Apple TV with our favorite actor, Gary Oldman. Check that out. I watched Nobody Wants This. I'm kind of in the middle of that rom-com right now with Adam Brody. And
he plays a rabbi or something, right?
Yeah. It's a little too syrupy for me. But Adam Brody, that dude can act. I don't know why he's not a bigger star.
He's having a comeback. He's having a second act. He was just in some other show that everyone's like, oh, Adam Brody's back. And I can't remember what that show was, but it was like a year ago.
And lastly, and it's like one of those things like, Ferrucci, how do you have so much time? I watched the first 2 episodes of Disclaimer.
Oh,
Alfonso Cuarón.
Kate Blanchett and Kevin Kline, of all people. We haven't seen in a long time who got old, as a lot of these people do.
It feels like a throwback, Paul, to when Prestige TV was Prestige back like 3-4 years ago. I'll say this, it feels a little Station 11, not to be confused with the Fire Engine, but Station 11 that was on HBO a couple years ago. It was a great show. There's a lot of divergent, manipulative narratives. You don't know who to follow, where we are. It's hard to get your footing, but after the second episode, I'm in. Okay. I'm in. I could watch Kate Blanchett sew some lingerie, and it would be fascinating.
Okay. That sounds a little bit like what's going on your Instagram right now.
Yeah, it does, Paul.
The algorithm.
Any shout outs before we get out of here, Paul?
I'm going to shout out Europe. We had a great time, and we are having a lot of trouble adjusting to real life, Matt.
I hear you. Well, it's great to have you back stateside. So, folks, that is the Beat LA podcast. Stay tuned. We're going to be back next week because we got a string. There's no bye weeks for the Beat LA pod.
No shout outs for you, Matt? No shout outs?
No, I don't have any shout outs for anybody. This is the new Matt. It's all about me. And either you can jump on board or fuck off.
This is why we have guests, self-help corner. Chris Titone's like, I'm playing myself in the movie. You're the same way, Matt. I want you to be fucking selfish. It's Matt's time now. It's Matt's time.
God damn it. Let's go. Folks, we have a great pod coming up next week. We're going to have one of the biggest soap stars in the business, Brandon Barash from Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, a whole bunch of stuff. He's a good friend of the pod. He's going to come on and talk a little sports and he's going to dish some tea as well. So until next week, Paul, go Mets.
And I don't care if I fucking lose the Musso and Frank bet. Beat LA.
Beat LA, baby.